May 14, 2003. At 5:51 p.m., Bernadette Perusquia told dispatchers in Laredo, Texas, that her husband, 26-year-old Juan Perusquia, had just been shot.
We need an ambulance, hurry!
But she also immediately confessed that she had fired the shot. According to Bernadette, the couple's heated dispute had turned physical, and she had been in fear for her life.
He came towards me, so I shot him.
She had no choice but to shoot him.
When officers arrived at the couple's home, they found Juan lying in the hallway, bleeding but alive. Bernadette, a registered nurse, had tried to use her skills to save her husband's life.
She actually tried to help him. She stepped over him and went and reached for some scissors to cut his shirt and see if she could give him some sort of aid.
Emergency personnel wasted no time in transferring Juan to a waiting ambulance. Though he was gravely injured, Juan was still trying to speak with the EMTs.
As they're putting him in the ambulance, he says, my wife shot me.
EMTs tried to calm the injured man, telling him that Bernadette had already confessed to pulling the trigger. But Juan insisted that she hadn't told the whole story.
He said, she shot me because I was leaving.
Before Juan could say any more, he slipped into unconsciousness. Police took a closer look at the scene of the shooting.
They take a picture of the gun, which he had left on top of the kitchen table.
But when officers examined the single shell casing left behind, they discovered something unexpected. Bernadette claimed that she had shot her husband at close range.
She had claimed that Mr. Perusquia was lunging at her, that he was gonna attack her.
But the distance between the shell casing and where Juan fell suggested something else.
The evidence was more consistent with them standing at a distance approximately 18 feet away from each other.
With conflicting physical evidence, detectives decided to take a closer look at Bernadette and Juan's relationship. Neighbors told police that the newly married couple had always seemed happy. But when officers interviewed Juan's family and friends, they told police that his relationship with Bernadette was nowhere near as happy as it seemed on the surface. Combined with the physical evidence, detectives had reason to suspect the shooting wasn't as straightforward as Bernadette claimed.
When we looked below the surface, we had serious doubts that this was in fact a self-defense case.
So investigators were anxious to get Juan's side of the story. Unfortunately, they would never get the chance. At 1:10 a.m. on May 15, 2003, nearly 7 hours after the confrontation with Bernadette, Juan Perusquia died. Juan's death meant that the shooting was no longer an assault case. The 33-year-old mother of two faced murder charges stemming from the May 2003 death of her husband, Juan. On December 20, 2011, Bernadette Perusquia was awaiting the verdict in a Laredo, Texas courtroom. After deliberating for only 3 hours, the jury returned with a verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Bernadette Perusquia, guilty of the offense of murder.
Bernadette was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole in 30 years.